Hey there. So you're here to learn more about the Salomon Sense Ride 3? Okay, let's do this. Future Brian, roll the intro. So before we get to the Salomon Sense Ride 3, I need to tell you where I came from as a trail runner. This is the shoe I've been using for the last 2 years. As you can see, I blew it out and replaced it with a bike patch and some super glue. But this is the Asics Gecko XT, which for me as a first trail runner was, it was okay. I liked it because it had a little bit of tread. The bottom was pretty stiff, but it just didn't have a lot of padding. And so when it finally blew out, I started my research process like a lot of us do and tried to figure out what to get. And I came to the Salomon. So let's get into that. Some background about me as a trail runner. I go maybe 10 to 12 miles a week in my local neighborhood, mostly dirt roads, some ups and downs. I'm definitely not an ultra runner by any stretch of the imagination, but moving from the Asics shoe to this bad boy, I feel a lot different in terms of how I approach the trails. The first thing has to do with the lug pattern and all this. It's pretty significant for me, which is great. And I know there are shoes that have more and some that have less, but I feel confident running in this shoe in all kinds of conditions. In the last couple weeks in my neighborhood, trails have been super dry, super muddy, kind of wet. And last night was just a sort of kind of wet circumstance, and you can see from the bottoms, there's a little bit of junk in there, and I felt confident all the time while I was running over rock and root and through puddles and everything else. I never felt slippy or slidey or anything like that. I also love the cushion on this shoe. Coming from that Asics, there wasn't a whole lot of cushion going on. But this one, I feel like there's this great middle ground between having some rigidity in the bottom of the sole and having cushioning on the bottom of your foot. I definitely feel different after coming home running in this shoe than I did previously in the shoe that didn't have a lot of cushioning, which was the Asics shoe. I will say this, there are a couple of things that got my attention about this as I began to run and sort of get used to the shoe. And the first thing is the Salomon lacing system, which everybody knows about at this point in the game. When I first start, I have to tighten this bad boy down, and a few minutes later into the run, I'll usually stop and tighten it again because it comes loose. That's kind of a bummer, but par for the course, no big deal. Even when you cinch it down, you have all this space left over there. There is this little pocket here that you can put the rest of the excess in to be able to get that out of the way. I will say that the tongue in this kind of caught me by surprise to begin with because it's sewn all the way down to the bottom of the sole. Pretty sure nobody can see that except for me right now. But that ended up making me feel a little bit more comfortable and fit within the shoe itself, just because I knew the tongue wasn't going to go anywhere, and once my foot was in, it was fully seated once I cinched everything down. So all things considered, Salomon Sense Ride 3 for a beginner trail runner like myself, great shoe. I got it for 89 bucks at I think Runner's Warehouse. And not so crazy about the color, but at the end of the day, who cares? It's just me on the trail, and my shoes are gonna get dirty. In fact, this is as clean as they're ever gonna be after about 2 or 3 weeks of owning these things. So thanks for watching. Happy trail running, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.